What is going on, Alpha Hunters? It is a very magnificent Monday, and we're seeing some bullishness on the market today. We'll talk about what really got hit here in the past 45 minutes or so. But it's basically flat open. Probably one of the flatter opens I've seen in a very long time. Just no gap there on the SP 500, the SPY. So it's kind of chill, I guess, start to the day, first 45 minutes or so. And then after that, we went on a pretty good run there for about an hour, 10 minutes or so. Yeah, about an hour, 10 minutes, up to the daily high. And that's basically where we topped out there at about 11:30 Eastern time. And then kind of just hung out up there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then, about 40 minutes ago, we had a nice little sell-off here. So it could be a little bit of a double top. Obviously, people will probably make that connection. But a little bit of a flag pattern possibly, or inverse flag pattern here over the past 15 minutes. We'll see if we break that down and continue with the selling that we saw about 40 minutes ago, so 30, 40 minutes ago. So we'll see. Qs, though, that's where, you see the selling. Whew, Qs got hit pretty good there. Definitely negative. SPY up 0.2%, Qs down roughly 0.1%, so if you want to know where the selling came from, it was definitely the Qs area. So not too much indifferent from how the SPY looks, but just got hit pretty good on the sell down. IWM, though, seen some pretty good bullish action here today. Nice little gap up, roughly 0.25%. But you can see just the breakout higher here. So, yeah, looking really good here on the IWM. All right. DIA, Dow Jones Industrial Average, a little bit of a gap down there. Traded higher there for the first 2 hours of the trading day. Then a little bit of a sideways pullback, and then pushed higher here about an hour and a half ago, or so, about an hour ago. But has come back down for the most part over the past 40 minutes. So, yeah, looking pretty good there. DIA having a pretty good day, up 0.5%. RSP, E-weighted SP 500, didn't really gap all that much either, but kind of looked like the IWM just pushed higher for the first several hours of the trading day. Hasn't really done much here over the past 40 minutes, but yeah, RSP looking pretty good. Kind of was mentioning last week, at the end of last week, man, this thing better be breaking out very soon. There it is. Finally, the RSP is finally breaking higher here. So got a little bit of a higher close there on Friday. And just, you're getting the continuation today, as Friday was kind of a little bit of a breakout close there. So there you go. RSP looking pretty good. DIA, Dow Jones Industrial Average, just continuing to ride up these moving averages. Looking pretty good. Let me go back to the RSP. Where are we in relative terms? You can see how long of a consolidation that was. Several weeks we were just consolidating there. This top area around 162 could see some action a little bit. We did just consolidate here for about 2 months, a month and a half. So, maybe the RSP goes on a little bit of a run here. So, just have to see. We'll have to see how that kind of works. But I wouldn't doubt if we see a little bit of pause there at 162, 162 and a half. But with that consolidation that we just put in over the past month and a half, I wouldn't be surprised if we just continue to push higher here. As, maybe we see the Qs kind of underperform. People kind of take profits in Qs area, big tech area, kind of roll into some other areas that, probably a little bit more underinvested, a little bit cheaper valuations, that kind of stuff. Anyways, DIA continuing to ride the moving averages up, all-time highs. IWM. Okay, so looking pretty good here. Kind of middle no man's land. Not really major resistance right here at the tops that we put in today. So I'd expect this to probably just continue up to this 205 level, 205 and a half level here over the next couple days. So sometime this week I'd expect us to get up to 205. Not too much to talk about other than that. Qs. So obviously the Qs do not look like the You know, the RSP, the DIA, and IWM, like you get this starting to be a little, you know, I'm not gonna say a large upper wick, but a little bit of an upper wick. Definitely a sell down. Just, I mean, we could just see the beginning of a rotation, maybe out of the bigger tech concentrated names and maybe into other areas. You know, I mean, I've been mentioning that for, I mean, I would say for the good part of the past couple of months. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned over the past couple of months. I mean, up until the point where the RSP just kind of just did nothing. But we might see that continuation happen going forward now. So we might see a little bit more of of that, you know, rotation out of big tech and kind of into a lot of other names that was really going on in November and the first half to maybe the, you know, first 2/3 of December. That was really happening. Obviously, the start of the year, big tech really shined a lot. So we might see a rotation back to that kind of market environment, and I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. The big tech names that have been very strong are a little too strong, a little too aggressive, and I can see them cooling off for a little period of time here. SPY, a little bit of an upper wick. Obviously, Qs, big tech are going to weigh it down a little bit. It's not going to look as bad as the Qs, right? Qs have a much larger weighting in the big tech areas, but looking pretty good. I mean, even if we do roll over and sell off here, I mean, we're a bit extended from the moving averages. Moving averages are trending higher. Expect us to probably just pull back, at least find the moving averages, push higher. You know, as we go in maybe the middle of February, maybe the second half of February. I mean, I still think down here is probably the spot where you probably have stop losses. We've been on a pretty good run here. Now, if we just snap down here over the next couple of days this week, and then we see a little bit of a bounce off that 10 EMA, then you might be moving your stop losses probably right under that level. But for now, you know, we might just rest here for a couple days. How's the hourly kind of time frame? Yeah, I mean, we're just now pulling into the hourly, you know, 10 EMA. So, I mean, it might take a couple days. I mean, there's nothing to really sweat here. Unless you're like really like, hey, you know what? I like the gains I got. I'm going to lock it in. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We are a bit extended, but I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back a little bit, but I wouldn't think that we're going to come take out this level all the way down here that we had at the end of January. Basically kind of what I'm saying. So I'd imagine we do have a little bit of a pullback, probably nothing major. It's probably going to be bought by dip buyers, that kind of stuff. Now, let's talk about some data that we get tomorrow, because before I move on to dollars and yield, but tomorrow morning we're going to get inflation data, CPI data is going to come out. This will be a big one. If inflation is strong, we very much could see yields and dollar maybe bullish, which, I mean, if we do see that, I'm not going to say the market's going to get absolutely routed, because that won't happen. The market might have the pullback day though tomorrow. That would be kind of what I would allude to if that did happen. So if we did have that time period, I would imagine we do have that pullback tomorrow if inflation comes in a little bit hot. Even if we do gap up tomorrow, inflation, you know, kind of gold, I would expect us to sell off. Okay, so maybe, you know, we might see selling tomorrow regardless, because we are a bit extended. So anyways, continuing on, VIX, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to the yields. VIX, nice little higher open. It's almost like a guarantee. Monday, VIX, higher open from Friday, close. So there you go. I'm not really doing too much, still just like in this channel. Not really doing a whole lot. VIX, though. DXY, the dollar index, pulled into and finally hit the 10 EMA today. Still just kind of consolidating here. Broke the lows of the last 3 trading days of last week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Obviously, it hasn't held the breakdown, but You know, dollar might break down tomorrow. If it does do that, maybe we pull into these highs that we had over the second half of January, and maybe we bounce tomorrow, or maybe we just break down tomorrow if inflation really is falling off. But if inflation comes in high, I mean, expect us to bounce kind of strongly tomorrow, as we're going to be bouncing off that 10 EMA also. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow on inflation and how that kind of impacts the dollar. Gold, you know, dollar's kind of flat. Gold's kind of flat, not really doing a whole lot. All right, moving on. 10-year yield. All right, so I was kind of thinking if we continue to push higher on yields Monday, and then inflation came in kind of light, and it dropped yields on Tuesday, it'd be a false breakout, and you're probably just looking for yields that then just get crushed. Obviously, that's not looking to happen. We're down on yields today. So if inflation comes in hot tomorrow, a little bit higher than what was expected, I would expect yields to probably push higher, have that breakout moment, and then there's no catalyst then for the next couple of days to prevent yields from climbing. So I don't think we would get like a 1 day false breakout. Now we're going to get some more inflation data towards the end of the week, Friday, with PPI. So as for now, things don't look awful for like if you're looking for the market to kind of roll over, but just understand the stock market momentum is very strong. Even if yields pushed higher, dollar pushed higher, sell-offs probably wouldn't be longer than maybe a couple days. Like, we're not going to see a half-month sell-off here or a month-long sell-off. So other than that, you're probably looking to buy dips right now in the stock market, as even if yields broke out higher, they probably they would take a little bit of time for the market to turn. You're probably looking for yields to push back over 4.5 and maybe get back up towards the upper fours, maybe the 5 handle type area on yields. So 10-2 inversion, not really doing a whole lot. Just kind of still just maintaining. HYG, high yield corporate bonds, down a little bit. Interesting. Not doing a whole lot. Still just in this channel it's been in for the past 2 months, roughly. So, yeah, not really doing a whole lot. LQD made a new low today over under Friday's low. So, might rest here maybe a day or two. We'll find out. I mean, obviously yields. Going to get the inflation data tomorrow. We'll find out. TLT trying to base down here again where it based before. But we'll find out tomorrow with inflation data what it's going to do. Take a look at that sector performance. All right, we got. All right, we got here. Let's see, tech. Yep, tech. You can see underperforming the most. You definitely tell that sell-off that we had about an hour ago, 45 minutes ago or so. Tech got hit pretty good. You can see tech got hit really, really sharply. You can also see the XLC actually got hit pretty good there as well. But how discretionaries also got hit pretty good. So those are the 3 sectors that weigh the most on the market, or on the S&P 500. Anyways, real estate, healthcare also underperformed pretty good. Discretionaries in line with the market for now. Industrials outperforming a little bit there. Staples outperforming. Nice bullish action here on Staples here over the past hour and a half or so. Communications doing pretty good. Obviously, they had a very strong start to the day there on the XLC. Financials outperforming, utilities, energies, and materials. A lot of sectors definitely not exposed to the big tech areas, except for XLC kind of outperforming there. So what about the intraday? So the intraday, yeah, you can definitely see the XLC was getting bought up very strong early on. Utilities have seen constant buying kind of throughout the day, kind of up at the top there. Materials, financials also doing pretty good. Staples doing pretty good. Energy's doing pretty good. Healthcare and industrials kind of in line with the market there. Discretionary is underperforming. Tech, yep, underperforming. Real estate's actually gotten hit pretty good during the day. Okay. So real estate might have had a little bit of a gap up there today.